Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Shadow back again with another paintball video for you guys. Today's topic is going to be stretching and exercising for paintball. These are just some really simple stretches and exercises that I do, whether I'm preparing for a tournament or a practice, tryouts, just running some drills, anything like that. These are just some basic stretches and exercises that I do in order to get myself warmed up. Now, the importance of stretching and exercising in paintball is just like any other sport. The stretching is it's gonna work your muscles up, gradually. It's not just gonna throw them right into going from sitting in the car, on the way to the field, right into playing. That's going to shock your muscles, and that's how you're going to pull a muscle, and you're going to get hurt somehow. So stretching is just as important in paintball as it is in any other sport. Now, exercising for paintball, again, just like any other sport. If you're not fine-tuning your skills and you're not fine-tuning your muscles and staying in tip-top shape, you're going to find that it's harder and harder to play. So the better shape you stay in, the easier it is going to be for you to stay on top of your game. And with how fast-paced of a sport paintball is nowadays, staying on top of your game is crucial. So I'm going to run you guys down through some basic stretches and exercises that I personally do. Keep in mind that these are not the only ones you can do. There are tons of different stretches and exercises that will help with paintball. These are just the ones that I personally use at the moment. I'm currently looking into some other ones, but these are just the ones that I use right now. It's just me here today, so I'm not going to be able to demonstrate anything because I have to hold the phone with one hand, and I only have one other free hand, and it's kind of hard to film myself doing stretches and stuff like that. So I will put in the description links to demonstrations or walkthroughs of each and every stretch and exercise that I'm going to refer to, so that you guys can get a better understanding of exactly what I'm doing, and make sure that you're doing it right, because stretching the wrong way, it's either going to not help your muscles or it's going to hurt them. I know people who have tried to do a certain stretch and they've done it wrong and they've actually pulled a muscle. So proper form is key. So first off, these I got at Dick's Sporting Goods for, I believe, $7. It's a 10-pack of little orange safety domes. Most of the time you see these used in soccer, but they're perfect for running drills and stuff like that. I use these quite frequently, actually. I use these for sprints, suicides, and I use them for run and gun drills, and I also use them for bunkering drills. So these definitely come in handy. Like I said, you can pick these up at Dick's Sporting Goods. They also have 4-packs of collapsible cones. They look like orange safety cones. I don't even know how high off the ground they are. They're probably like maybe a foot or so off the ground, and they collapse flat down, and then you can just expand them when you want to use them. But I found that this was a better value, 10 of these as compared to 4 of those other things, and these were only like $2 more. So not to mention these don't blow away in the wind, and those cones would have. So these are pretty good value. Now, first thing I like to do when when I'm warming up is, obviously, I'm going to do some stretches. The first stretch that I do, again, I can't demonstrate any of this for you, but the first stretch that I do, pretty much you're just going to stand up, shoulder width apart, and you're going to kind of, well, I might be able to demonstrate this one for you. Shoulder width apart, and depending on which leg you want to start with first, left or right, it doesn't matter. You're kind of going to turn in the direction that you want to stretch, and this back foot is going to stay where it is, and this one's going to kind of slide forward, and you're going to lean down on it like this. And just kind of lean until you feel a stretch all the way up through your calf and hamstring, and this back leg just kind of sits like that. And then you're going to turn, keep your feet the same width apart, just rotate, and then do the same. Lean forward, and you'll feel the stretch, and that back leg just stays like it is. And I kind of lost my balance. And you're going to do that twice on each leg. Next one that I like to do is called a Hindu squat. This one I can't demonstrate for you, so there will be a link in the description of how to do that. After I've done the Hindu squats, I like to do a few upper body stretches. Again, I can't demonstrate those. The first one, I don't know what to call it. I just call it the sprinkler. I really don't know what else to call it. And the next thing that I like to do, I can demonstrate this one for you. Everybody's done this before. One leg out, one leg in. Grab the toes and stretch. The way that you count out your stretch is totally up to you. I personally do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And you want to make sure, I see a lot of people when they do this stretch, their knee is kind of popped up like that. That's wrong. When you do this stretch, as you're grabbing your toes, you want to force your knee down. Like, you know how you can, like, suck it down like that? That's what you want to do. You want to suck that knee down, because as you lean forward to grab your toes, what your body's going to do is your toes are going to curl back so that you can reach them, and that stretches your calf muscle, and the leaning forward stretches your hamstring. Now you're going to do it once or twice with each leg. So once with this leg, once with that one, once with this one, once with that one. Next one you're going to do, you're going to put your feet together and suck them in towards your body as far as you can. You're going to put your elbows on your knees and push down on your knees with your elbows. And that's going to stretch through your hamstrings, which is a very important thing to stretch out. That's the easiest muscle to pull, so you want to make sure your hamstring is stretched out really nicely. There are a ton of, like I said before, there's a ton of other stretches that you can do, especially for your legs, because that's what you use the most during paintball. I can't demonstrate those for you, definitely not with one hand. So I will, I'll put a few of those in the description, and I'll just let you guys find the rest of them on your own. You can find them all over Google. If you just look up like running stretches or something like that, you'll find a ton of them. So after I've done stretches, I start off with a nice jog. It doesn't have to be anything timed or anything like distance related, so you don't have to say, oh, I'm going to jog a mile, or I got to jog for 5 minutes. Just jog once or twice around the field, you know, something to get the blood pumping. After that, I do an end-to-end sprint. What I'll do is I'll take one of my cones, set it up as my starting line, and the other one will be down where I want to, you know, have the end line be at. And I'll do it, I usually do it 8 times. Down and back counts as 1. The first 4 down and backs, I just jog at a regular pace. And the last 4 down and backs, I sprint as fast as I can. After I've done that, I follow it up with suicide sprints. Now, these, as everyone knows, is man's favorite running exercise. Okay, not really. Least favorite. At least personally, for me it is. If you're not familiar with suicides, there's a start line, a line 1, a line 2, and a line 3. What you're going to do is you can call out the order, or someone else can call it out for you. But you're going to start at line 1. So let's say you want to do 2, 3, 1 is your pattern. That means you're going to go from the start line down to line 2, back to the start line, down to line 3, back to the start line, down to line 1, back to the start line. And you're going to do that as rapidly as you can. No, you're not going to go at a simple, easy to do pace. You're going to go as fast as you can. If you're just warming up before a day's play, just do it once. If you're exercising and drilling, do it a couple times. Make sure you give yourself a minute or 2 in between patterns to really breathe. Otherwise, you're going to throw up. Trust me, I've tried it. So that's those. After I've done all my running exercise, I just do a simple set of anywhere from 20 to 30 push-ups. It really, loosens up the upper body, and that prevents muscle fatigue with your gun setup. Because as heavy as it really isn't, your gun, tank, and hopper, even with a full tank and full hopper, isn't really that heavy. But if you're staying posted on somebody, you're posted on that guy for, 2-3 minutes, you're going to really start to build up fatigue in your muscles unless you've stretched them out. So that's what the push-ups are good for. If you're drilling and exercising, do more push-ups. Don't just do like 20 just to loosen up. Do some to build up. After that, I like to do mountain climbers. I can't demonstrate that with one hand, but all of these things, even the ones I demonstrated, will be in the description. So, mountain climbers, and last but not least, I do some sit-ups. I can do a lot of sit-ups, but that's not really the point. If you can only do 30 sit-ups, it's 30 sit-ups. It's going to, loosen up your abs, stretch them out, because your abs are really a key in paintball, because that's your core. It ties pretty much everything together, and it needs to be strong for you to stay tight in your bunker. Especially, you wouldn't really think so, but if you're like this, if you're kind of power stance in your bunker, like, see if I can get a side view. I don't know if you can see that, but if you're like power stance in your bunker, it's not just your legs that are holding you up. You're going to find that as you're holding your gun, so say you're posted on that guy, you're in your power stance and you're posted on him. Your abs are tightened up as you're holding that gun set up, and you're really going to start to get a burn in your abs if they're not stretched out and they're not strong. So again, if you're exercising, do a bunch of sit-ups. Don't just do some to warm up. So, alright guys, this is Shadow Shock. Any comments, questions, anything like that, leave it in the comments section below, or you can shoot me a message, and I'll do my best to get back to you as quickly as I can. Stay tuned for more videos. There's going to be a few of them coming out today, and I hope this has been of some help to you guys. Alright, later.